Hey, this is a quick tutorial of the shadow short row that is used in my LFG Pussy Hat pattern. There are written instructions in the pattern itself, but just in case you're a visual learner like me, here's a little video on how to do it. So I'm going to show you how to do the shadow short row knit and then the shadow short row purl. SSRK for the shadow short row knit and SSRP for the shadow short row purl. So what I want to do is knit along until the spot where I want to add my shadow short row. Stitch 2, 4, 6, 8 stitches in, and what you're going to be doing is looking for this stitch below. That's the stitch you want to grab to add your shadow short row. So I am grabbing that stitch from back to front and putting it on my needle, knitting it, and then sliding that knit stitch from the right hand to the left hand needle. And this creates a shadow short row stitch. It's got 2 legs. Now I'm going to turn my work. I want to purl back to the next place I want to have my shadow short row. This one's going to be a shadow short row purl. So I go all the way back. I'm going to go all the way back to 1 stitch before the end. And now what I'm going to do, there's 1 extra stitch. I'm going to slip this stitch from the left hand needle to the right hand needle, grab the stitch below from front to back, place it on the right hand needle. And you see how I'm just leaving the left hand needle on that stitch? It's really going in behind the right hand needle so that I can purl that stitch. Now I'm going to shift both legs of the new shadow short row purl stitch to the left hand needle. So I'm slipping it from the right hand needle to the left hand needle. Now I'm going to turn my work. I want to go back. So I'm going to do 1 stitch before the shadow short row stitch I did before. And as you can see, I'm knitting 2, 4, 5 stitches. And as you can see my shadow short row stitch before. It's got 2 legs. I'm going to, from back to front, pick up the stitch below my next stitch, knit it, slide that knit stitch from the right hand needle back to the left hand needle, and turn my work. You can now definitely see that both those shadow short row stitches have 2 legs to them. Now I'm going to purl back. I believe this time it's going to be 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm ready to do my shadow short row purl. Shift the next stitch from the left hand needle back to the right hand needle, tip to tip, purlwise. Pick up the stitch below from front to back and put it on the right hand needle. Now I'm going to purl that stitch, purl the picked up stitch, and shift both legs of the shadow short row stitch from the right hand needle back to the left hand needle without twisting them. Right, I'm going to do 1 more, knit 1, knit 2. Pick up the stitch below from back to front and put it on the left hand needle. Knit that stitch, then shift that shadow short row stitch from right to left needle and turn your work. Purl back. This time I'm only doing 1 stitch. I purled 1 and now I'm going to shift from the left hand needle to the right hand needle, the next stitch, from the left hand needle to the right hand needle, pick up the stitch below from front to back, slide it onto my right hand needle and purl that stitch, then shift both legs of that shadow short row stitch from the right hand needle back to the left hand needle. I'm going to turn my work. Now what happens is when you want to come back and go over your stitches, what you're going to do is I'm going to just knit to the end. I can see I sort of skipped one here. That's great visual. So you can see shadow short row, I skipped that one, shadow short row, shadow short row. You can see they have 2 legs. So as you come along to knit up or purl up those stitches, you treat them like a knit 2 together. So I'm gonna knit 2 together, those 2 legs of the shadow short row stitch, and then knit the next one, and then knit the 2 legs of the shadow short row stitch together, knit 2 legs of the shadow short row stitch together, and then knit 1. I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to go back and get those purl shadow short row stitches. So I'm going to purl back all the way until I get to my first shadow short row purl. Now, the thing I love about this is that it's almost invisible. You'll see, I'll show you as soon as I get through this one. So I'm at those, you can see the 2 legs, 1, 2, 3, with 2 legs of them. So I get to the first stitch that's got 2 legs on it, the shadow short row purl. I'm going to purl those 2 legs together, purl the next 2 legs together, and then go to the last shadow short row stitch and purl those 2 legs together, and then purl the last stitch. Now if I turn my work and show you, you can see those stitches are that I purled together or knit together are almost invisible. And this is created sort of a toe. It could be a hood, it could be a toe, but it's turned your work in the LFG Pussy Hat pattern. It creates the top of the ears that are to twist them back so that they're nice attitude ears. So that's the shadow short row stitches. I hope that helps out. And I hope you enjoy knitting your own hat.